is hiding under the house. See what they do with this. Nula doesn't like it, but shut them up. Good day, guys. Jonathan here from Us Off Grid. I got a beautiful sunny day today. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Last night we had a bit of excitement. A good pack of Coywolves showed up around the property and were yipping and yapping their way around. Pretty cool. Well, today we've got, you know, not every day on the homestead's a happy day. Some days are a little bit tougher. And today we got to butcher our last pig. And, you know, we always want our animals on the farm to have a really good life and the last day to be, you know, the only bad day they have. And if you do it right, they don't even know or see it coming. So I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to put up on YouTube. I'll film and then I'll do a little bit of research and see how much I can share with you guys. But I'll share as much of the process as possible, and definitely the cutting up of the portions tomorrow. So it's got to hang today. Anyways, if you guys are a little squeamish, I won't show anything too gory. There'll be no glorification to this process. You know, it's a part of, you know, homesteading and life and stuff like that. But I'll do it tastefully, and the most important thing for me is not even the filming, is just to make sure that I do this right and you know, have a nice clean kill. So anyways, I'm gonna get that started. So I'm gonna go down and bring the pig up. I've got the tractor up here. I can't get the tractor, we don't have it plowed down to where the pig is. So I'll bring him up, just he'll follow a bucket of grain. Bring him over here. We just use a 22, and the way to do it with the pig is you do an X from eye to ear, and then it's right at where that X meets. Or you could do it behind the ear. I've done it both ways, but today I'll be doing it on the X, but I won't be showing that in this video. But I'm gonna go down and get the pig and get this over with. Okay, so that was the very last of our Kunekune pigs. They're a lard pig, so we're not going to be dunking and scraping, which is good to do if you've got something like a Berkshire, Tamworth, or the Yorkshire, the pink pigs, because they've got a really good meat to fat ratio with crackling on top. Kunekunes are a very, very lard pig, and they've got a huge amount of fat, which is good for lard, of course. But we're going to be doing a torch and scrape. So essentially, you torch the hair, you scrape it with a dull knife, that gets the carcass all clean, or the skin all clean. But then when you're actually processing and butchering, cutting it into your chops, your ribs, whatever, you skin off that last part, but it stays on because we let the pig hang for a day, and then I'll be processing it tomorrow. So we'll see how the meat looks. Some of these guys are just so fat that You don't really get even good pork chops or anything. You're best just to cut all the meat, add a little bit, and then just make a bunch of sausage. Or some of them have a leanness. So this guy's been eating apples all summer. He was incredibly fat. We've had him on a high protein diet recently without a ton of fat. So he's trimmed down a little bit, but he still looks pretty plump. So we're hoping that this one we can turn into like chops and ribs and whatever. I'll show you guys the process anyways, but I gotta get onto this and I can't show you. Next time you see him, he'll be hanging as in two sides, and the whole process has happened. But anyways, we'll get onto that now. Well, we got her done. Went really well, really smoothly. There was a couple of challenging parts in the process just because he was like so fat. He's got like such a thick thing on fat on his back. But went really well. Normally in the past I'd just hang these guys up in a tree, but we've had a lot of coyotes coming at nighttime, so we don't really want to risk it. You know, it's a lot of work, a lot of money goes into these things. So we got him up here. It's not ideal. It's not the best decoration, but we don't have anybody coming this week, so should be fine. And tomorrow I'll get this guy processed into chops and whatnot. See how he's looking. did too much. So don't really let go of it. Hands are cold. There. This one. Kind of just hold there and there. I'll throw in the top cones or the middle. And then we'll put that tightened. All right, well, Locke and I just got the chimney installed. I already had this chimney kit installed. I do have it in a video from a video I did a while ago. I'll add that up over here. If you guys want to see how you do the cathedral install kit for chimneys to go through. But we had a bit of weather. I had to get that done really quick, so I couldn't record it. But I just got most of the hardware on up here for the chimney support kit today. I cut into the walls on the inside and put bracing for the 2 spots, so it's actually framed in properly. Yeah, so that went quick. So now I just want to go put some cement board down and get the wood stove installed, because it's minus 20. We're having a bugger of a time. Chimney, or the generator's not working that great. Nothing's really working that great, but it was chilly last night, so we're gonna have another wood stove going tonight. Damn it, he brought my gloves in. All right, I'm gonna climb down in bare hands now. All right, well, so we'll go do that. I don't know why they put stickers like this on here. Whatever, it'll burn off. All right, want to grab some? Yeah. We'll just slowly.
Slowly, yeah. There's no grip. Oh, you put it down.
Okay.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I know. We just need some need to go towards me just ever so slightly.
Okay.
And then back just let me see.
East. Maybe, right?
That's pretty good, right? Look.
I think so.
What's this look? There we go. Now, bunch your fingers.
Yep.
Oh, jeez Louise. There we are. Blade thing to scratch that chimney. Cool. Alright.
What's this?
I think that's all the way open. A little bit. Well, we got the fire installed. She's doing awesome. She looks wicked. She looks brand new. The cement board that I put around here, this is all just temporary. This is thinner stuff. It's going to be used somewhere else. I've got tile that I'm going to be doing in here. This stuff. Super nice. I got the door open. But I can't do it until I replace this door. I got this door secondhand, and it's garbage. It lets in weather, air, all that kind of stuff. So it's no good. The door I'm going to use here is upstairs in my wife and I's room, Nikki and I's room. We're going to take our screen in porch because it's not really functional, and we'll get more use out of it. So we just bought a window. We're going to take all the screen out of there, put a window in, take the door out, and just expand our room. And that door from our room will come down in here. It's just a sliding glass patio door, but it's, you know, it works. So right now we got the door open, just burning off the paint and stuff off of here. So we'll let that go, but this is going to be amazing. This is the furthest part away from our wood stove, and our wood stove heats up that whole south addition plus the main part, and then the heat goes upstairs, like up into the bedrooms up there, and has a hard time coming over here. And like after this, we're finishing off framing around the house and insulating the floor. So it's gonna be huge when that's done. But for the time being, this, like, we've got really cold days coming up. This will be awesome. Keep this part of the house nice and warm. So here we have it. We've got the pig. We slaughtered it a few days ago. It's been hanging for a few days. The reason we do that is for it to be more tender and easier to work with. So I'm not a butcher by any state of the imagination. This is more along the lines, this is what's possible for a homesteader who wants to raise their own pig, slaughter, and butcher. So I can butcher a pig, but not to the level of a butcher. But this is generally what a homesteader is able to do, is he's able to get his chops, his belly, his shoulder, and different pieces, his tenderloin. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break this up into its 4 primals, which is its shoulder, loin, belly, and leg. So we're going to start doing that. So this is a lard pig, so there's going to be a ton of fat. I don't know if you noticed, but right here, this is all leaf lard. Now, this is insane. I've butchered many Berkshires, a few Tamworths, Mangalitsa, and then some crossbreeds with Mangalitsa and Russian wild boar. And I have never seen, except for when doing Kunekunes, leaf lard like this. This is just amazing stuff. So it's really fat, so a lot of the cuts in between the skin and the cut creates way too much a thickness of fat. So that's why we did the torch method, where we actually torch the hair off and scrape it. So when we get into the 4 primals, one of the things I have to do, so there will be no crackling with these pigs, unfortunately. It's just not the right pig for it. But once I break it down in its 4 primals, I will have to skin that off. So we'll just be left with the fat, and then we'll trim, or the meat, and then we'll trim the fat off and leave that for lard. So for the first one, here's the shoulder. And what I'm going to do is just cut right through till I get near the bone, and then I'll use the saw. That way I'm not dulling my knife. So generally speaking, when you hang a pig, you kind of want it refrigerator temperature. And we had this pig out there, it was much colder than that. So unfortunately, it's not as ideal to work with because it's a little bit colder deeper down into the meat. There we go. So that's the first, that's the shoulder. And look at the amount of fat on the bottom there. That's why if you keep the skin on, it just doesn't work for crackling because there's just far too much of it. Okay, so the next one to take off is the leg. So a lot of people do this differently. They either go up on an angle, but I'm just going to go straight across down here, kind of like through here. So I'll cut through here and then use the saw to get through. There's the leg. You can see the amount of fat in there. So this could be a good lesson to kind of figure out what you want. Lard pigs like this, they take longer to grow. They require way less food. So this is a Kunekune. But you get a ton of fat. So kind of in a certain situation where you don't have a lot of access to feed, but you want a lot of lard for cooking, it's a perfect pig. But the meat, look how red it is. It almost looks like beef. And it's pretty good. But if you want a lot of lean meat, you might want to go with something like a Berkshire. Okay, so something like a Berkshire or other homestead, which is just more of a meat breed, the leaf lard would just kind of like sit through here a little bit and it would be pretty thin. But because this is so big, and then you would peel it off afterwards, but because this is so thick, it's going all the way up. I'm gonna have to pull this leaf lard off now before I separate the loin from the belly. So this is the kind of lard that they use in charcuterie and sausage making. It is the highly, highly praised stuff. This is the good stuff. That is amazing. I did 4 Berkshires a few years ago, and all combined didn't get as much leaf lard as that from all 4 of them combined. And I still have the other side to do from this guy. So that is something else. So to separate the loin primal from the belly primal, pretty much what you do is, and then you just make a line across over to about here, because you don't want to cut into the chops too much, but you want to make sure that you're getting as much as the belly as possible. So you do your cut, and just score that over the ribs there. And then you want to get through the meat as much as possible. Then you're going to want to use your saw and cut through. Now it's good if you can get your hand under there and because it's a saw, it's not going to cut through the meat, so your hand's not in any danger. You're just trying to get through the bones there. And that's the last one there. So you stop, so you're not spreading so much of that bone dust around. Open her up a bit. And then just finish that off with the knife. And then boom. You've got your belly and your loin. Now your loin gives you like your loin chops and stuff like that. You know, right here is the tenderloin. That's a pretty small tenderloin, but that's the muscle that has done no work, and that is the most tender, most kind of expensive, just like with a cow. Okay, so this is the 4 primals. This is the shoulder. This is the leg. So the shoulder is generally used. There's different roasts that you can do with it. A lot of people use it for sausage, just because it has like such a good ratio of meat to fat. This is the leg. This is what the Italians make prosciutto of all the time. This is your loin. So your tenderloin, and then your chops, and then once you get up here, your loin chops. And then your belly, which is essentially your bacon. So I'm going to start breaking these down. Essentially for this pig, at the moment I'll have a think of what I want to do with the belly. I'm going to remove the ribs out of here, peel them back. Some of this I might keep for belly meat, and then the rest will be cut up. Like this section back here will be cut up for lard. Up here might be for sausage. I'll have to get the H-bone out of the shoulder, get these ribs out of here, and then I'll probably use almost all of the shoulder for sausage as well. I might use the leg because this is probably too fatty as well, and then I'll probably just do some chops where I carve out a good amount of fat off the sides, so there's a good amount of meat ratio to that. So I think I will just start with the belly, get that one done. Actually, I think what I'll start with is the shoulder. So this is an extra process when you torch and scrape the pig, but this is something really good that a homesteader can do. A lot of people around here do this because it doesn't require any heavy equipment to lift the pig. It doesn't require any large vessels to hold hot water to get up to a temperature to scrape all the hair off to have it for crackling as well. So this is, although, you know, you're missing out on a part, the dogs love to eat this, you know. Keep a bit of fat on it, and it's a nice treat for them. Try not to take so much fat off, as I do want to make lard. This pig lived a good life. He ate so many apples. He was out in the sun his whole life. There we have it. Skin's off. Dogs love that. Fat. Good little treat for them. Okay, so first I'm just going to take this hock off. The wife likes to use it for pea and ham soup, so I'm going to come in across here, down at an angle. So this is where an actual professional butcher would make this look super easy. They'd find that joint. So sausage. So I absolutely butcher that, not in the best way. Try to come through above the bone, but there it is. It's off. So now on to the next thing. Because we're just turning this all into sausage, I'm just going to bone this out. Okay, so I'm going to try to pull this out. There we go. So that can be used, you know, in a stock or something like that. Still got a bit of meat on it. All right, so now that I've got the breast cap and ribs off there, and I've cut my thumb because of the fat was coating this, and I was holding it, and my thumb slid down like that and cut the blade, but I'll be all right. Just got to hold this with a cloth now. So because I'm using this for sausage meat, I'm just gonna come down, follow the shoulder blade to where it meets up down here, the joint, and just bone it out, and then leave this to be cut up later for sausage. Shoulder bone out. Okay, there's the shoulder blade. That's the problem with leaving the pig out when it's been too cold, is that it ices up and then it's not smooth and easy moving from tendon to tendon. It just kind of like splinters apart a bit much, but it's all good. We're getting through it. Bit of a hack job, but it's difficult to get the shoulder blade out. Just gotta keep working around it. All right, so that's the shoulder done. These are a couple bones that can go in stock. Could probably go in with the hock for pea and ham soup. The rest of this stuff over here will all be used for sausage. This could probably go in with that as well. All right, moving on to the next one. Okay, so I'm going to take the hock off. This is the leg. So the leg's got the H bone in it, and it's just a hock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hock off, have that with the other one from the shoulder, and then get the H bone, and then this will just be added with sausage meat for us. Okay, so that'll get. It'll just get added to the other one. Oh, that was a mission and a half. Weird little H-bone. It's much smaller than you would get into like a Berkshire or something like that. And then that's the leg there. All right. That will be added to the sausage. So that can just get cut down. Beautiful piece of meat. All right, so that is a ton of sausage from the leg. All right, so this primal is the loin. It's where you get your chops. But first you're gonna start, this is your tenderloin. So that'd be the most expensive. So you just get right under here, follow the bones. Okay, move some of that fat off there for, it's just a tiny little tenderloin, but that thing's delicious. Lots of stuff you can do with that. Okay, before I start doing chops, just gonna go up to this bend here and then go one in and just get a nice little roast out of here. There we go. Nice little roast. Oh, that's a lot of fat. I'm gonna have to remove a lot of fat, but that would be like an individual roast, I guess. All right, time to start doing the chop. It's a bit thin at the back. Oops. So I'm gonna try not to use this. The metal's garbage. The bones are actually getting that out, and it's got no weight to it. It's super light, so I'm just gonna cut these down, do it the cheater way, and use the bone saw. Hopefully it'll turn out nicer than those ones that I just massacred over there. Maybe. I'll use that for that. Yeah, look at the amount of fat on there, eh? Three tools. You put the dogs in. So have a look at these chops. There's not enough meat on it. I think I'm just gonna bone out the rest because this is a waste of time. Literally, this would be better off for sausage and then cutting a bunch of the fat off for lard. All right, so we just boned out all of the chops that I had just done and what was left over. and just broke it down. I'm still keeping this as a little individual roast. That'd be nice. This is all just going to be sausage now. Still have a little tenderloin, and that's all just a big pile of fat for lard. You never know with these kunekunes. Some of them, depends on their lines, can be a little bit more lean, and you can actually get chops and stuff like from them. And then other ones like this guy, he's just too chunky. So he'll be a sausage pig, and that's just the way it is. All right, last thing is just the belly now. All right, so last one. I've already skinned it. Not gonna make good bacon. Straight to sausage again. But just gonna clean this up. This is just pure fat on this end. More for lard. I'll tidy that up. But I'll get these ribs out of here. Oops. That's that. I'll just tidy this up and then cut this into bits for sausage, like the rest. The amount of fat is just crazy. This guy he had too much fun in his life, that's for sure. It's okay. We love sausage. There we are. Pork belly. Bit of lard. That's half a pig when you're turning almost all of it into sausage. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you guys are all doing well. We just got over the flu. It's why it took us a little while to get this video out. But yeah, we're feeling better now. Back in action. I hope you enjoyed the pig video. I had to do a lot of editing because I was crashing out, which is kid talk. The adult translation for that is losing my mind, losing my shit when I was doing the pork chops. That cleaver is so light. Cleaver is supposed to be heavy enough that the weight of itself bleeds the draw, and that thing is just like literally so light. I was trying to swing that, and it was all on an angle, and it was just getting messed up, and the blade was getting all dented. Anyways, the chops weren't even good enough because the amount of fat. He's just such a fat pig. I was really hoping that he would be more lean. You know, we really waited, you know, and pretty much almost an extra 3 weeks from where we wanted to butcher him because we were trying to lean him out. But man, that pig packed it on in the summer and he kept it. So anyways, we'll be making some, you know, more content. We'll be making some mild Italian sausage, and we'll be making some, what's our other favorite one, the German one, the Oktoberfest sausage. Those are kind of our two favorite. Maybe we'll make some breakfast sausage a little bit. I don't love cloves that much, so maybe we can make one with like a modified sort of ingredients. But anyways, we'll catch you in the next one. I hope you guys are doing well. Take care. This is John from Us Off Grid. Have a great one. Bye.